Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Happy Thursday, Friday, whatever day you're watching this. I hope you're having a good day so far.
Guys, keep killing it. It's already the end of the year. Well, for today, for us, it was the last day of school for middle schoolers and high schoolers. Maybe college, I don't know. But if you finished the year off strong, congrats. We love you. We appreciate you. No matter how old you are, because I feel like we got 40-year-olds listening to us, but we also got 17, 16, 15-year-olds. So we appreciate every single one of you. And shout out to all the teachers, babe. You know, the teachers are finishing the year as well. And I feel like teachers are so underrated. They get paid not what they're supposed to for the amount of work that they do. And some teachers are sometimes even like second parents to some of these kids. So I remember a lot of teachers, you do too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, babe, tell me a quick story about your favorite teacher ever that you can remember.
I think my favorite teacher, I was actually just thinking about her the other day, and I was like, I wish I knew her first name so I could search her on Facebook and talk to her. But she was, I think, fourth grade. She was my fourth grade teacher, and her name was Miss Mork. So if you know Miss Mork, I think it was Miss Mork. So if she got married, it's Mrs. something now. But if you know someone with the maiden name Miss Mork, please let me know, because she was my fourth grade teacher. She was so amazing. She actually made us write. I think that was the first time I wrote about being undocumented.
Damn.
Yeah, she made us.
Grade?
Yeah. It was writing about your life story or something like that, and I wrote about being undocumented. And I remember she cried when she read my journal. I wouldn't have to read it out loud to class. It was just like, we had, you know, those composition books.
Were you like, I can't go to Mexico?
No, I was just talking about how I'm illegal here in the U.S.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
so you were a
weird.
pick-me little girl?
Maybe. But I mean, it was just for her to read. It wasn't for...
I get it. But like you were so little to understand what that meant.
Little? I was like a fourth grader.
But still, like in fifth grade, I remember my first essay I wrote about Jerry Rice.
Well, that's just because you're so privileged that you don't have to worry about anything when you were in freaking elementary school.
No.
Charter school looking ass. Jeez, I was in a public bilingual school.
Babe,
I already had
until
problems when I was in
too.
elementary school.
We were both in public at 4th grade.
Yeah, but you didn't have the problems I had.
I still had to read the bills to my parents and voice messages. No,
Sorry.
I get what you mean. It's just so crazy to fathom a 4th grader writing about like that, you know?
I'm telling you, there's a lot of 4th graders out there that...
Sorry. Hey, but I still had to, like answer the door when the pizza man dropped off the pizza and asked for the... Nah.
You could order pizza when you were in 4th grade?
Yeah. Anyways... Oh, damn. My favorite teacher actually follows me on Instagram. I just found that out when I posted a picture a while ago. She commented on it. Miss Balster, but she used to be Miss Hayner. Loved it. She honestly made class so fun, and I think that's what kids learn the best by is... damn, I said that really wrong. Learn the best by... Going to Best Buy. I think kids learn the best by having fun in school. That's how... Did you know there's an actual study that kids remember things the most if it's funny or if it's fun? Same with adults, actually. So in class, literally for World War I, World War II, we would throw marshmallows at each other to mimic like being in the trenches and stuff like that. So I will always remember that. And I still remember fun facts about, like the Ally and the Axis and all that. So thanks to her. So yeah, that's super cool.
Damn, that's so cool. I honestly, yesterday, we were actually on my sister's continuation from 8th grade to high school. And I got so much nostalgia, babe, because I was like, I remember the last week of my senior year of high school was probably the best week of my life. And I say that very lightly, but I remember it being so fun.
But more than Franco?
Especially in that era of my life. Especially because I remember my senior year, I had already had all my credits. I was ready to graduate. But I had the first period off and then last period off. So I was kind of just going to school for 3 hours a day. But obviously it was so fun because you have so many activities at Twin Peaks. Did you guys do where you throw all your paper away into, well, you probably didn't have a pit, right? We had a senior pit in Niwot, and everyone would just stand on top and just throw all their papers, empty their backpacks and just leave it. Boring.
Sorry, we didn't have multiple floors.
And then the last day of school, we literally sat there and counted down the seconds until it was the last time we heard the bell ring.
So High School Musical.
So yeah, literally it was so fun. And then getting ready for graduation, I just remember being on cloud 9. It was so fun. So I was getting nostalgic. I was like, damn.
Good thing you walked. You barely walked, huh?
You're so dumb. I literally passed with straight A's. But I was like, damn, those are years that you're never, ever going to get back and never go back. Guys. So please don't take school for granted. It is so fun.
If you happen to not be a senior and be younger than a senior, guys, please, you're going to regret not doing the things you want to do. And just have fun and do everything you can get your foot into. Do sports, do student council, do trips, field trips, do it all, man.
Get involved with school.
Yeah, you're going to be like 40 one day. Your back's going to hurt. You're going to be like, what if I, cheerleadered? Or what if I played football? Like.
Babe, my cousin, because Jasmine was at our... at the continuation too. And guys, I don't mean this. This is something that my cousin said. It's not coming from me. Okay, don't freaking cancel me. But we were just walking out, and there were a lot of like cuz at this continuation, just the way they dress. That's the style right now. And we were just walking, and we saw some kids pass by, like talking mad shit, like cussing and stuff. And then Jasmine looks at my aunt, and she's like, She's like, this is the only time they're ever gonna graduate. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? She's like, well, all these kids are probably going to drop out of high school anyways. And I was like, holy, like, I just remember back to my high school days. And I remember all of my friends that I went into school with, I didn't walk with them. It was just handpicked.
Damn, babe, now that I remember, like, all the Mexican guys you used to be friends with and I played soccer against, they were at your graduation. Because I remember, guys, because I was taking pictures and I was being a good boyfriend. And now that I think about it, like, not many Mexican guys walked.
No, se les hacía más fácil just drop out of school. And the worst part is that they would drop out like midway through senior year. I'm like, bruh, that's... And it was crazy because I think at our schools, they knew like it sucks, but it was a stereotype for Mexican guys to not graduate, to drop out. And our counselors were so good. They would call everyone in and be like, hey, this is what you can do. Like, we can help you out this way. And they still didn't do it.
Man, that sucks. But
so I was like, damn, that was harsh, but she's not wrong, but she said it kind of freaking. I was like, damn, girl. She's like, well, I'm just being honest. I was like, well, it's true because a lot of these kids are also like already starting to get into bad things. So that's what we always talk about it. Like, these years you're never going to get back, and you can make mistakes, pero no te pases tampoco,
I just don't get how some kids are so easily like manipulated, or like their little brains think that like wearing Air Forces sagging and having that dumb haircut is better than like being under the lights, scoring goals, and like having like fun. Like I don't mean that in like a bad, oh, you think you're so cool, Jonathan. No, I mean that like in terms of experiences. Like they're so eager to grow up and do drugs and hang out with the wrong crowd, when like the high school is all about like literally having fun.
I do believe that could be taken like differently because, for example, me, I didn't grow up knowing this. Like I didn't grow up being in sports and stuff.
But you still did.
But yo me esforcé, which was kind of hard because like all of these sports cost money. They cost time after school where your parents have to come pick you up or you have to walk home. So I understand it's really tough. And a lot of these guys, I don't think
high school sports cost money.
Even middle school sports.
I don't remember paying once for my soccer.
Privilege talking again.
No, I'm pretty sure they would be like...
You're pretty sure, babe? You think your mom would be like, hijo, te voy a meter a soccer, pero voy a pagar $100. I'm sure your mom was like, no, you want to do soccer? Let's go do soccer.
But I don't remember her like giving me a check or...
Why would she give you a check? It was just things that your parents had to do.
But to who?
To the school?
Usually, I remember middle school when you wanted something, you'd be like, okay, tell your parents. And then your parents send you with a little envelope. Like,
babe, you were playing club, my boy.
On a scholarship for free.
Por eso, but a lot of people don't know that there's access to that thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, all of these
sound privileged, but I don't remember paying for soccer in high school, guys. Confirm that in the comments. I know cheer costs a lot of money because that's like
track costs money too.
Twin Peaks, I didn't pay for track.
Well, you were going to a freaking charter school, babe. Charter Academy.
Jeez, babe, you're hating.
It's because the way that you're talking about it makes you seem like, well, I didn't have to do. Okay, you didn't. But
I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying like I don't like if I would have paid great, I would have been like, yeah, you're right. But I'm just putting my 2 cents in because we had very different. And not everything has to be a struggle. You're making it seem like, oh my god,
But it was a struggle.
You had a phone before me,
and because your parents didn't want you to have a phone.
You had cooler shoes and clothes than me.
I had an iPad Touch.
You drove before me, so you don't think that.
The necesidad.
You're privileged.
I wish I was freaking privileged, and I wouldn't have to be talking about all this. So did I. Anyways, the reason I'm saying this is because I believe that a lot of these guys that end up dropping out don't have any role models to look up to.
Yeah, but like como dice tu mamá, el que quiere, quiere.
El que quiere y el que quiere puede.
And they see guys playing soccer. They see guys having a good life. Why don't, ¿por qué no se les pega eso? Bien que ven. I'm sure their parents didn't teach them how to smoke weed, did they?
Yeah, it's because it's easier. Like my mom's always said, it's easier for people to choose the bad route, even though it comes with worse consequences.
Guys, if my number one pet peeve is victim mentality. And if you're going to tell me, oh, they didn't know how to do better. No, fuck that. No one told them how to hold a freaking bong and rip it. You know, their parents didn't. I mean, their friends did. So if they can see the bad, they can see the good, okay?
Yeah, but it just depends, because it's like you can grow up being a victim mentality, and then you can grow up being like, well, I don't want to end up like my parents, you know. And that's what I did. The reason I did sports was because I never wanted to be home, because I knew home was just puros like arguments and being mad and mean and stuff. So I did everything as an escape, sort of, but it was a struggle, because I remember my mom being like, well, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. And it's crazy, because I feel like all these people don't know that you can apply for scholarships, which I did. Like I was on, what was that lunch thing where you got free lunch?
Yeah,
I was on that. So with that one paper that you turn in at the beginning of the school year for free lunch, you get free sports, basically. But if your parents don't know and you don't tell them, then how are they going to know? You know, they probably think, oh, sports is so expensive. Like, don't even ask me about it, you know. But you have to do the work, and that is a struggle too. But if you want it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's freaking crazy, guys. But I'm glad I did sports.
Yeah, babe, because you did sports, you have such nice legs and a nice body.
A lot of people tell me, like, how did you get? I'm like, dude, I've been working these legs since I was in middle school.
Running up hills and shit, huh?
I fucking sucked at track in middle school, pero ahí andaba. Literally, I was just.
But you also have a really good body gene, because your brother does not exercise to save his life, and he has big calves.
Damn, that's true.
And then your sisters, ni se diga, so. But anyways, guys, yeah, that was our little rant, because obviously this podcast is not only spilling the beans and being ahí chismosillos or like telling you, updating you with their life. It's also to better our community. And sometimes it might come like off like this, like that. But it's truly like the quicker you can release yourself from that victim mentality, the quicker you can progress as a person.
Yeah, and we never want you guys to think like, I know a lot of what Jonathan says is very straight up, and we never want you to take it like, oh my God, he's just bashing on me. Like, no, sometimes...
No tengo pelos en la lengua.
Yeah, and sometimes you need someone to tell you how it is. You know, you don't need... If you need someone to sugarcoat your stuff, don't come to Jonathan.
Go to those other podcasts.
Because Jonathan just be saying things and just how he thinks it, which is good, because he's not over here being like, no, like, I get it. No, he's actually, you know, like, just being straight up. So never think we're doing it to bash on anyone. It's just... we're doing it so that you have someone to be like, no, you can do this. Like, even if you think you have a victim mentality, be like, okay, well, I can get out of it, or how can I work on it, or how can I better myself? Because I think our Hispanic community needs a lot of help in that sense, which we're not perfect, but we're just coming from experience too. We coming from a varsity soccer player, full ride to freaking the business school of Boulder, Colorado, club player, literally? And then my literally straight A student, but not anything crazy, you know, like, and that's why I say.
What did you say yesterday, babe? We were sitting there.
Oh my God, don't tell them.
No, where you were like, well, at least I was like.
Oh, I was like, well, I didn't graduate with honors or something. Or what? Was that what we're talking about?
No, about the chords. And you're like, all those honor classes for nothing? Like, you didn't graduate. I was like, damn. Like,
no, it's because
at least that being proud that your boyfriend went to a full ride.
Funny because I was like, well, we were talking about graduation, and we're like, well, I didn't graduate with honors, and John's like, I didn't either. I was like, oh, weren't you like an advanced? He's like, yeah, but you didn't get anything for being in advanced class. I was like, so you're telling me that we both graduated and got our diploma, but you had to work harder?
Yeah, that was a scam. No, but thanks to those AP classes, I got the full ride. But then you were like, yeah, and what's that? Did you graduate? Are you still in college? No. I was like, damn, babe, instead of being proud of me being
no,
like,
and I am proud, because if you guys, the way that I see me and Jonathan is like, you know, someone's street smart, someone's book smart, and I feel like you have both
you're book and more street smart than me.
But I'm more street smart, babe. Like, you're
no.
over here.
If they dropped us in the middle of freaking Thailand, who would?
I can't even go to Thailand, my boy, so I don't gotta worry about that.
But we've done this before, babe, where we're like in the middle of nowhere, we're lost, and you're like, I was like, babe, I think I remember going through this with it. Let me ask. You're like, I don't know where we are. I can drop you in Longmont, and you still be like,
what I'm saying is, like, you're common sense smart, and I'm uncommon sense smart. You know, like everything that you know, I don't know, but everything I know, you don't know. Because remember, you're like, oh, how did you know that? Like in the sense, like belated. He didn't know what belated was, but I knew what belated was, you know? So everything that
one word, babe. You didn't know what the finiquera meant.
What does that mean?
That's slang for Phoenix.
Oh, you just learned that with the song.
I learned.
En la finiquera.
Well, that's when it first started being used, I think.
So then why are you talking shit? Sorry, I don't listen to that type of music right now.
Damn. Hey, guys, it sounds like me and Blanca are going at it, but we're not good, huh? We're not even mad at each other.
Not yet.
Oh, last podcast, guys, I do want to apologize. Well, no, fuck no. I don't want to apologize.
Cut the cameras in.
I want to clarify that, like, a lot of you guys said, like, oh, Jonathan looked like he was in a funk. Well, he was not in it. He was fatigued. He looks fatter. First of all, we didn't take this lens. This lens is the normal lens. We use the lens to vlog. If you guys don't know, the lens we use to vlog makes you wider. So when you hold it like this, when you're vlogging, more of you can come out. So we had to use that for the podcast. So if you're on the edges of that lens,
you're screwed.
You look literally like it just added 300 pounds to you, like super wide. So I was on the edge. Mando was on the edge. We looked super wide. One. So I did not gain any weight like that. Okay. Two, it was 1 a.m. We were tipsy and we woke up, like we were up for almost 24 hours. Like, okay. So I just want to clarify that, guys, because we can't have a perfect day every day. Okay. Yeah. Right, babe?
Do you think you get mad at, or not mad at me, but annoyed when I'm drunk?
Yeah. No,
so
annoyed.
Then the comments were right.
No, you weren't drunk.
I was tipsy.
No, I wasn't fatigued for that. I was just really tired. And then the fact that I knew it wasn't a high quality podcast, like we were laying in bed.
Yeah, that's
the lighting was orange. Like I had that all in my mind. Plus wanting to sleep, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But no, nothing against you. Nothing against obviously our guests are the best. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, guys, just want to clarify that, babe. Let's get into some emails.
Okay, go.
Because let me tell you a little fun fact, guys. A lot of you guys send emails, right? Like asking for advice, but then you send something nice after, like, love you guys, watch today's podcast, and I feel like bad replying to you to that one when I see your big one, but that's because we are gonna read that one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not ignoring you. You just spilled your whole life on me, and you're like, oh fuck, he just replied to me saying thank you for that. No, so that's why I want to get through a lot of these podcasts.
Emails or DMs?
Podcast, fuck. DMs. Guys, we're almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok, guys. Nos pusimos las pilas and we're like, let's go hard on TikTok. It's literally a platform we don't use at all. Literally in 2 weeks, we've gained almost 4,000 followers. And one of our TikToks went viral. It's the one where I tell you guys that these guys are motherfuckers and they ain't shit. It's at 644,000 views and it got 114,000 likes.
Nice, babe.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. Anyways, let's go to the emails. DMs. All right. Hi, Blanca and Jonathan. I love you guys. So I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years and now we are high school sweethearts. Long story short, we dated in high school. After I graduated, things got rocky. Yes, I'm older. Haha. And we broke up after 1.5 years. We got back together and we were happy, so happy, etc. Fast forward, I'm currently 24, he's 23, and I had a talk with him because I felt as we weren't seeing each other eye to eye. I wanted things he necessarily did not want, kids, marriage, etc. He says it's just a piece of paper. He says he knows couples that get cheated on that are married. That some girls just want to marry to get their husband's money and dip. And kids because he didn't have a great childhood experience and doesn't want that, but he says he would be okay if I were to get pregnant. We ended up breaking up 2 weeks later. He comes back to me almost begging for me back, saying he would do whatever it took to be with me. Fast forward, he has been acting weird. Girl, please use periods. He is saying that he keeps having dreams I'm doing him dirty with other guys, which I'm not. So much that he was accusing me so hard, went about a week mad about the situation. Damn, over some dreams? I love him and I've always imagined my life with him, but as time goes on, I don't know, every time I sit down and have a comment with him about these things, I end up the same as I didn't have it. My cousin's sister always tells me to leave him. I can find better. What do you guys think? I know it's been kind of long, but thank you guys.
Of course you can find better. And the whole thing about dreaming this and that.
That's weird.
La conciencia, ¿cómo la traerá?
¿Cómo la traerá mi chiquito?
Because every time we have experience in the fact that people will get mad at you or accuse you of doing some shady stuff, and you're like, but why? Like, I'm not doing anything. But it's like, it's because como traen la conciencia, like they're probably doing something, maybe not cheating, but maybe something iffy behind your back, so they feel super self-conscious about that you're probably doing it too. So that's why all of a sudden he's having continuous dreams of you cheating.
Yeah, girl, this ain't the fucking 1800s where he can look into a globe and be like, she's cheating on me, or dreams like the Native Americans had, you know? Like, yeah. Like, come on, let's be realistic. And the fact that you guys are 23 and 24, I had that period of toxicity, jealousy. We're talking in the teens. You know, Blanca and I, thanks to, you know, therapy, thanks to, you know, life, I matured through that, what, at 20, 21? Mm-hmm. No, 19 when I proposed.
20.
No,
20. Yeah, 20.
So I can't even fathom having that kind of immaturity still at 23, 24 of saying, I'm dreaming, you're cheating on me, something's going on. Like, that does not, I understand if someone was DMing him pictures, screenshots or something, but like a dream girl, come on. Like, at 24, this guy should just, you know, I don't want to be stereotypical, but should start giving you like a place to live, kids, if you guys want them. Should start being like aquí un poquito más, you know, mature, not having dreams of you cheating.
Or if he's having dreams, like, why is he mad at you?
Yeah,
it's a freaking dream.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, girly.
And if your cousin's telling you that you can find better, it's because you can. Obviously, everybody can find better. But it's like, do you want to deal with this for more years? Or if you do get pregnant, he's gonna be like, oh well, I didn't want you to get pregnant, or I'm gonna give my child trauma. You have to, ladies, when you find the man that you love, not only are you choosing a husband and a partner for the rest of your life, you are choosing your baby's father. And if you don't think that he's going to be a good father, then you are doing yourself and your future kids a disservice. Okay. So when you find this man, you have to be like, okay, he's a good partner. He's my best friend. He's going to be a good dad. He's good with kids. He respects his elders. You know, like, you have to see all of this, because how many people fall blindly in love and then end up being a single mom? You know, so you have to take into consideration this. If he's not mature right now, cool, let him go find someone that's mature, that's going to give you what you want right now. You don't have to wait around for him, and you don't have to wait around or settle for anybody. So when people say, yeah, you can find better, you can, but if you're willing to struggle, stay there, girl. But there's literally people telling you don't have to struggle, you don't have to wait, you don't have to settle, you can find someone better, and you can. You know, so you have to see it. Do I want to struggle? Is he going to be a good dad? Is he going to be a good lifelong partner? You have to consider all of that. And if there's one red flag there, then that's your answer.
Yeah. I do understand that people mature at different rates, guys. And I know there's still 30-year-olds out there being immature and cheating and doing stuff like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But there should be kind of like a guideline, I think. You know, 16, te paso lo que quieras.
Yeah.
Super immature, crazy. 20, todavía te lo paso, you know, a little bit of immaturity, toxicity here. Because you guys have been together for so long, you're saying you're high school sweethearts. It's not like you met at 20 and now you're 23. No, You've been all through high school, right? So now you're 24. That whole dream stage, that seems very childish to me. Like super, almost like concerning childish. That a grown man can't control his emotions based on a dream. Yeah, what makes you think at 30 he's going to be like, fuck, like every time you go out, my heart starts to hurt. You're cheating on me. You know, like, come on. Let's get over it. Let's be real.
Yeah. And it does sound funny, but Jonathan literally goes to the extreme, you know? But it's like, things like that do happen. So you have to figure out where you want to struggle, girl. Okay. This one says, so my boyfriend, who's 22, broke up with me. He went for a trip and then came back, and he said he didn't want the responsibility of being with me. She's 19. He told literally everyone he loved me and that we were going to move in together and that he wanted to marry me, even gave me a promise ring. Then he comes back and he doesn't want me anymore. Ay. I'm so heartbroken. We were living together too. P.S. I love the podcast and have been following forever. Help. Love you so much, girl. ¿Qué hizo en ese trip? Who did he meet? Who's he talking to? Who did he cheat on you with? You know?
Or simply he saw his life was funner.
Being
like
single.
Better being single.
Yeah. And you don't need that, girl. You're 19.
Yeah.
You know, your life is barely starting and you don't need this. You don't need him. If he went on a trip, he saw maybe the single life was better. He maybe did some shady shit behind your back. Whatever. Promises don't mean anything if there aren't actions backing it up. So if he promised that he was going to marry, he promised that he's going to be with you forever, that does not mean shit if he comes back and tells you he doesn't want you anymore. That alone should tell you, oh, damn, like if someone I love is telling me that he doesn't want me anymore, knowing that that hurts me and we're living together, then why do you want to be with someone like that? You know, so you're heartbroken right now, but time heals. It truly does. So just tough it out. Honestly, that's what our biggest advice is. Tough it out and find better. Your life is barely starting. You don't have to settle down right now at 19. You have your whole life to go and have fun with your friends, with your family, and then when the right one comes, then you can settle down. But you don't have to be settling for these mediocre men.
You're 19. Like, get over it, sweetheart. Remember that meme? Sweetheart.
Don't worry about me, sweetheart.
Okay, read this one, babe. It's a little long, but I want you to read it because it might sound repetitive, but we're going to hit it from a different angle this time, okay?
Okay, long rant. Sorry, LOL, by the way, I love you guys. Love you so much, girl. I need advice. My husband and I have been together for 9 years, and we have 3 beautiful children together. He is the best daddy to our kids. He is hardworking and does everything for us, and I really appreciate him for that, and he knows it. I love this man with all my heart, but he has this little defect that has bothered me ever since the relationship started. He is super cold and boring when it comes to being romantic. He does get me flowers or buys me a random chocolate bar here and there, but most of the time he does it because I remind him. Like, for example, I'll say my flowers are dying. I'm going to need new ones soon. Then he'll come with flowers 2 days later, but I feel like he does it because pretty much I told him. Also, for Mother's Days or birthdays or Christmas, he always asks me, what do you want as gifts? I usually tell him what I want, but I feel like it shouldn't be like that. I want him to pay attention to what I like. For example, if we're at the mall and I say, oh, I like those shoes, for him to buy them for me and surprise me for Mother's Day because he remembers that I like them, not because I have to send him a list of the things that I want. Part 2. We have had this conversation so many times, and he always tells me that he will try to change and try harder, which he does for a few months, and then he goes back to being the same way. The other day, he made me feel like shit because he told me, I do everything for you guys. I try my best to make you happy, and I do one thing wrong, and I feel like you only see the bad things I do and not the good ones. I don't know if maybe I'm overreacting because he is such a good husband in many other ways, and it's just that one particular thing that I wish I could change about him. How do I make him understand how I feel without making him feel like I'm taking it for granted, everything else that he does for me? Last part. Oh, that was the last part.
Look, girl.
Hit it from your angle, babe.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to be straight up with you here. I know I'm always a girl's guy and I always side with you guys, but there's 2 things here that I think are truly your fault. And that I'm not saying they're your fault, like you did it on purpose, but I wanted to pick this question. Did you guys see that?
Whoa,
it's literally lightning in my room. Anyways, so that future girls hearing this can like learn and just like, before you guys make these mistakes, okay? You clearly exposed yourself. You said from the beginning of this relationship, he's been like that, okay? Yet you still decided to have 9 years of marriage with him and 3 whole kids with him.
Even the freaking universe didn't like that.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that thunder? Even God's like, preach, Jonathan.
Oh,
anyways,
my God.
You had 9 years of marriage, 3 kids, and you still decided to, even though knowing he's like that. So second thing, girl, every human is different and we all have different love languages. You said exactly what I was going to tell you at the end. He provides for you. He got mad that he does literally everything. And the one thing he can't do right, he doesn't do it. And you get mad for him for it. Yet he provides for you and your 3 kids. Providing for 3 kids nowadays, girl, is not easy. Let me tell you that. Like, I don't know what you're like. Maybe he has you in such a high pedestal, but there's guys out here that can't even support 1 kid. And he's supporting you and 3 kids. Like, let's give him kudos for that. 2, okay, you should have known your husband, your boyfriend's love language from the beginning. If his love language is providing for your family, making sure you guys are fed, that's his love language. I'm sorry, like, a él no se le viene, based on your message, a él no se le viene naturally to give you flowers. Is that what I'm trying to say? Like, he'll try, like you say, he tries and then he forgets because that's just not his love language. That's your love language. And I'm sure maybe you get him stuff randomly, you do this and that, but like, to him, that might not even matter. She's like, let's just call you Jessica. Like, esta Jessica me regala, quien sé qué, pero why doesn't she do this other thing for me? Why doesn't she appreciate me and give me words of affirmation? That's probably what he's thinking, right? So it's like, two things, girl. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that he's completely in the right, because if he loves you, he should remember. But two, you should have known from the beginning how he was, and you still decided to continue your life with him. And two, just people aren't the same as you. People are going to have different love languages. And I think if he's a great dad, a good husband, and he does everything for you, sometimes you do have to drop maybe the little bad things, but you have to see the overall picture.
I'd say you have to compromise, because maybe the compromise here is that you have to remind him that you want flowers, or that you have to send him the list of Christmas things. Because
he'll do it if she reminds him.
Yeah, but imagine if it was the other way around and he knows like, oh, she wants me to remember what she likes, but I don't remember, so I'm just gonna give her whatever. Like, he's not doing that. He's actually taking into consideration that you like a couple of things that he doesn't know, he doesn't remember, because he's probably, busy doing other things. So he appreciates when you make his life a little bit easier by sending that list of things. And it might be a little bit harsh for you because of your love language. And I just know that growing up, love languages were not normalized, but we watch a lot of couples on YouTube where they literally both text each other the Christmas list and be like, this is what I want, because I don't want you to get something I don't like or something I don't need and won't use. That's not weird at all,
girl. We do that.
Yeah.
I told Blanca, babe, what do you want for your Mother's Day this year? What do you want for this?
Well, not really, because I never tell you and you still get what I want.
Because I listen.
But that's different. But see, like with Jonathan, we found out really early on.
That's because I know that's her love language. He doesn't.
And that's what I was saying. We found out early on, before we got engaged, that we had different love languages, why we were toxic, all of that before we got engaged, because that was a deal breaker for us. It was like I was doing my love language on Jonathan and he was like, girl, I don't care about this. I just want to be with you physically and like hug you and hold your hand when we're out in public. And I was just giving him gifts, and which he didn't like. So early on we established, okay, like we have to both change and compromise and do this. But that was before we got engaged. And then we're like, okay, we're ready to get engaged and then married. And then, so it's like, since you already went through all of that and that's the only thing that's ever bothered you, I think it's safe to say that you can just compromise and be like, okay, it's hard for him to understand that is my love language, but I appreciate him. So you know what? I'm just going to keep saying, hey, babe, my flowers are dying. Can you get, or like just that, hey, my flowers are dying. 2 days, you get new flowers. This is what I want for my birthday. This is what I want for Mother's Day. It might be a little bit tedious for you. You wish that it was different, but you just have to understand that in marriage, you have to compromise. And if that's a compromise, then that's good. Like there's girls that got to compromise a lot more than that, girl,
Yeah, like you have to see the good, not the bad, girl. I know we're quick to say leave him, sis, when we have to, but we're also very mature enough to, and like reasonable. We're also very reasonable people. This guy's literally doing the best. He's a great father, which is very hard to find nowadays, unfortunately. And your main problem is him not getting you flowers. Literally, the TikTok that just went viral is the opposite of what I'm saying. Is like, no, fuck him. But that's because the guy has never been doing it, or just doesn't do it even when the girl reminds him. But when you remind your husband, he does it. But anyways, girl, I don't want you to think that I'm coming off as like mean or arrogant or anything like that. I'm truly telling you this because I want your marriage to succeed. I want you guys to have your wedding ¿cómo se dice? De los 50 años, 60 years, 70 years. I want you guys to spend the rest of your life together. But in order for you to do that, you need to understand and comprehend what love languages are. And that's what 99% of marriages occur. Like that's why they happen. It's because people don't know what a love language is, or they don't like care about them.
Divorces,
like if a wife loves que su esposo le diga, ay, qué bonita está, but he doesn't do that because he's very cold and does. But then she goes to work and maybe the guy next to her cubicle, the office, or the cooks at the restaurant she works through, le dicen, ah, you're so pretty, you're so, whatever. Then she's going to cheat because that's her love language. But if you don't make that known to your husband, or like, you don't care about his, because let's see both sides of the story, then I truly believe that's why divorces happen.
Yeah. And it's just the same. Like there's compromises, and you don't have to compromise big things. This is a little thing that can be worked on and compromisable. So you guys have already had a successful 9 years of marriage. You've already been successfully raising 3 children, and you know that you both love each other. So this is a good compromise. This is where you have to see from his point of view and just, compromise that little thing that maybe doesn't make you feel as good, but just know that he's trying his best. And as long as you remind him and he's doing it, then it's good. It'd be different if you were telling him and he'd be like, I'm not getting you no flowers, girl. Then I were like, okay, let's get this man straight, But for now, we're on your side. We always are, but we do want to see, like, we're seeing this history. You've already had this successful marriage for a while, so I think that you can keep it going.
Yeah. There's no need. There's no need to complicate things. Like you right now, probably like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. My friend's husband siempre le regala cosas. But you never know what happens behind closed doors. If that husband's cheating on her, if that husband hits his kids, you know what I mean? So really appreciate what you have. Okay. Hello, guys. I have been a fan of you guys and love the way you guys are trying to raise better kids and being aware of not traumatizing them like we were. But I need some advice. I have a partner. We have been together for 14 years. He's a good, hardworking man. He doesn't have any vicios, no drinking, nor anything. The one thing is that when we got together, I told him that getting married was not important to me because it was just a paper. We have 4 kids, 13, 12, 11, and 8. Oldest is a boy, the rest are girls. We grew up Catholic but didn't go to church. But me with my kids are trying to raise them right, talking to them, taking them to karate, tutoring, and youth group at our Christian church because we converted and are active members of our church. And now that I have actually learned the word of God and understand the meaning of marriage, I spoke to my husband and explained to him that now I do want to get married. I don't want the big part or anything. I just want the church aspect.
That's valid.
Valid, girl. You know, people change. It's like literally a scientific fact that people change every 7 years to the point where even the skin you have 7 years ago, it peels off and it washes away. So you're a new person. You're allowed to change no matter, I was devoted Catholic all my life. Now I'm Christian. Go for it. Yeah,
honestly. And you have to let your husband know that too. Be like, okay, I know that 10 years ago I don't want to get married, but I want to get married. And tell him why it's important to you. Tell him what you've learned. Tell him all of that, because at the end of the day, you guys are already together. You have beautiful children, and I mean, just get married through the church. You know, seal the deal with God.
Feel the love of God. I don't know what religion this is, guys, but I'm just a believer in God. I don't care if you're Catholic, you're Christian, you're Baptist, you're Mormon, you're whatever. As long as you believe in God and one God, and that like He loves us and loves us more than life and made us in His image, like that's all that matters. So make him feel that love from God, and not just because it's a paper or it's a ceremony, like that aspect. No, be like you want His blessing. Like it's more than that.
And tell him, like, I feel like that would make him feel so special. Like, babe, I love you so much that I want God to bless our marriage. You know, and that's super understandable. So I feel like maybe you're kind of overthinking it a little bit, but I think you should go for it. Tell him and let us know how your ceremony goes.
I think we're going to wrap it up with this one, guys, because fun fact, we are going to go see houses because we're getting
evicted.
We're getting ready to move here soon.
We actually are getting evicted, babe, by the freaking ghost that's been tormenting us.
Babe, that's for another podcast. Stop.
Okay, baby mama drama. Hi, Blanca and Jonathan. I have an issue. I am a 26-year-old mom of 2 and have a boyfriend, and he has an 8-year-old son. We have been together for 4 years and recently got engaged. We also live together. My issue is with his son and his baby mom. His son is always telling his mom things about me, and then she gets mad and causes a big argument. For example, I told both my boyfriend and son to pull the trash cans back in, and he told his mom, and she came to my house yelling at me because I made her son put the trash back in. Mind you, I told both her and my kid. This is not the first time this happens, but it's been happening a lot lately, and I'm getting tired of it. Aparte de que he tries to bully my 7-year-old autistic kid sometimes too. But I feel like I can't say anything because it always causes a big problem, and I always look like the bad guy. Any advice on what I should do? Love you both. Love you too, girl.
Hell no, girl.
Hell
fuck that bitch.
No,
literally.
Like, we understand that they're kids. But you guys know the way that we always talk about it. I know it's a bad comparison. I'm going to get fucking backlash. But the way that your dogs are because of the way that you train them. So if your dog is bad, it's because of the training issues with his human. So with kids, if your kid is bullying someone else, you have to see what are you doing wrong to make your kid think that he can bully people. And 2, if he's getting mad I feel like he already knows that this routine, like if I go over to my stepmom's house and she tells me to take out the trash and I hate that, I don't want to do chores, all I gotta do is go tell my mom, and then she's gonna tell my dad, and then it's gonna cause drama, and then my stepmom is never gonna tell me to do anything at the house. You know, like ya sabe that he has you like that. So you have to.
I think, girl, look, I'm gonna take it to the very extreme because that's what I like to do. I say you literally tell your husband, I'm your new family. You're engaged to me. I get that he loves his son immensely, right? But if it's jeopardizing the likelihood of your kid, because Blanca's right, who knows that? Obviously, I'm assuming that the kid still goes to his real mom's house, right?
Yeah.
And spends maybe a week or a weekend with her. You don't know the nasty things that she's probably telling her son, like, when you get back to your dad's, you know, hit the other kid, because
make their life a living hell.
your dad loves him more now than you, like, you know. So it's like, why do you want that in your house? Like, you need to. I don't want to say have your husband pick between his son and his new family. Obviously, that's very fucked up.
But you have to make it that hard.
He's the middle ground, and he needs to lay his foot here strong, not you.
No.
Like, y pobrecito tu bebé, like, he should be smothered with love and living his life, not be bullied by his stepbrother. That's literally
trauma.
Like the recipe for trauma and like future like bad events. Like, I don't want to say the gun word and stuff like that, but like these traumas like this, like these kids grow up to like no violence and then hit other kids, and then you never know, girl. So like cut out the root and really talk to your husband and be like, look, like I don't feel safe with your other son coming home, or like have him stay full time with his real mom until like things get sorted out. Like, you're not gonna come over. I don't want him over until he doesn't hit my kid anymore. I'm sorry. It's hard. It's hard. But I'm thinking about my love for my little boy, and exactly. Like, especially if he's autistic, like fuck any other kid. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them other kids. That's true. Like, when it comes to you being a mom, your child goes above everything else. Like, okay, if you tell the kid something, the mom comes, yells at you, okay, fuck it, that's some drama. But if he's trying to bully your autistic child and then still on top of that is causing other type of drama, that is something that you do not need in your house. So yes, you have to tell your, what she said, boyfriend?
Yeah.
You have to tell him, be like,
engaged,
you either end this shit right now, or I don't want that kid ever coming over again.
Or I'm going to call the cops every time the mom tries to come and start beef with you.
Like, and we're not saying it to be petty. We're saying it to put your son first, or your child first, and to put yourself first and be like, look, this is what I want. And honestly, that sounds extreme, but your fiance will probably be like, okay, I have to set my foot down and have to set some boundaries. If he's going to come over, then he has to know that he has to respect not only you, but our children and our home, you know? And if he doesn't do that, then be like, okay, quédese con su mamá. It's that simple, guys, because
he chose you.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it is kind of sad because it could be some trauma from the kid, like saying like his parents separated. His mom is probably feeding him some like lies, telling him that his dad this and this, whatever. But it's like, because of that, you have to be a mature adult and correct him fast, or he's going to grow up to be a very bad, unhappy adult, you know? So you have to get it from the root and just stop it here, so that he knows that respect comes above it all. And if he's not going to respect you, your home, and your children, he's not going to come in your home.
Yeah.
That simple.
I'm a big believer in minimizing the damages the best you can, guys. Not eliminating them completely, but minimizing them. And right now in this situation, both that kid, the step kid, and your son are both suffering. So by cutting off the step kid, at least I know he'll continue to suffer, but your son won't. Yeah. So that's minimizing the damage. As fucked up as it seems, and I know we haven't gone through it. We're not, Jonathan, you're so selfish. You know, this kid needs love as well. I understand that, but I'm speaking as a parent, and if my kid was in that type of danger, como me enseñó un dicho mi tío hace mucho, que lloren en mi casa o que lloren en la tuya, pues que lloren en la tuya. As fucked up as it sounds, but your kids should not go below anyone else.
Yeah, and sense? Another thing is, like, we're not sitting here telling you to grab that kid and sit him in a room and tell him. No. You have to talk to your husband, and then, or your fiance. You have to get your fiance to talk to his baby mama and figure it out with the mom. You don't have to bring the kid into the equation, because then that's going to be even more traumatic, and it's going to be like, oh, my dad hates me, whatever. So it's going to be the adult's job. We're not telling you to tell the kid anything, because that is not your responsibility. Hit it at the root from the mom and the dad, not anybody else. And then that's how slowly the dad and the mom will start to correct his behavior, because that's the only thing you can do. The last thing you want to do is make this kid hate you, you know? So don't talk to him, talk to the parents.
Yeah, guys. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. It literally looks like it's 8 p.m. and the sun's going down. It's 2:46, but the clouds are... The weather has been so crazy in Colorado, but I love it because I support farmers, and I love when it rains. Why does it look
like it's 8 p.m.? It's 2:46.
Yeah.
It's thundering. We got paparazzi flashing our lights out there. Freaking thunder.
They want to know all the cheese and for spilled beans. There's literally people right here outside our window, guys.
No, literally, guys. We have to end it now, though, because it is known that the light goes out and then we're fucked. So, without further ado, that is it for this podcast, and we'll see you guys next Friday.
Later.
Yay Networks.